What an absolute disgrace to the shirt. Everybody tuning in right now, we have just witnessed the worst Manchester United side in my lifetime by a country mile. They have been all season long. The last few years, they're just not up to the standard. These guys are a bunch of absolute calamity jokers, man. I haven't seen a bigger pile of wank as this since me and my mates found the freaking dad's porn mags back in the day. This is a huge pile of wank, this team. I mean, I just don't understand how we can play so badly. We're going in to the final game of the season against Cardiff City at home. I mean, what the fuck are we playing at, lads and lasses? What the fuck are we playing at? We can't defend to save our lives. It's no surprise. Why? We've got freaking Small Dong, No Bones, Ashley Klein at the back there. What the fuck was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer thinking, pal? What is this message you're sending out? Are they all staying, are they? They're all staying? So they're playing the last game for the club here because they're actually staying, so you might as well start building for next season, yeah? Nice one, pal, you freaking Scandinavian Andy Serkis. I don't understand why he selected those guys today. They've been awful recently. They don't deserve to be in the side, and he's had a mare there. I'm sorry, he shouldn't have been selecting those players to start with. What do we expect's going to happen? We're not overnight going to turn into a quality defensive side when you've got those melt jobs in there. That's all I'm saying. I'm not blaming Ole Gunnar Solskjaer overall. We should be battering Cardiff City here. It's the players we've got in the club here. The players lacking effort, lacking the cojones, lacking the bottle, lacking the bollocks. People like freaking, I keep mentioning it, Paul Pogba. What the fuck did he do today? People keep saying, stop giving Paul Pogba a time. He'll be great with great players around him. Bollocks! He's supposed to be a great player. Make everybody else raise their game around you. Do you know what I mean? But seriously, I was disappointed with Ole Gunnar's selection today. I know he gave Greenwood a shot, some more youth a chance, Dallow, etc. Yeah. Of course, that should be the bare minimum with the situation as it is. Really, all these prima donnas like Pogba shouldn't be getting in the team. They don't deserve it based on form. We should be playing freaking under 16s we signed from down the road before the game instead of those prats, in my opinion, for this final game of the season. They've not earned to play in that game, in my opinion. It shows up there. They don't give a shit. I mean, seriously, if somebody wants to come in for a big money offer for most of our players, not even that big money, Pogba, Lukaku, Sanchez, all these guys, get them off of our books. We've been saying it for a long time, but they are a big problem at United. Mike Feener just signed on in a permanent role as his assistant manager. Great, that's absolutely fantastic. I really rate him. I think Ole Gunnar's a good man for the job. I really do, but I think he's always going to be struggling and fighting an uphill battle when you're dealing with freaking Small Bones and freaking Small No Bones Jones and Small Dong and freaking Ashley and Pogba not performing and Alexis Sanchez, Bruno Mars in it up and not even looking like a professional footballer out there. And Lukaku's not been firing this season. There's so many problems with this United side. I don't even know where to begin. Actually, I do know where to begin. It is at the back. The back line. Not only at the back, the midfield too. Let's just work our way up. Because we do have some good talents at the top side of the pitch, but we are seriously lacking at the back there. And what do? We've got that freaking absolute stain on society. Ed Woodward, freaking Mr. Potato Ed himself, sitting upstairs, rubbing his Mr. Burns hands together, absolutely loving it. He shouldn't even be in the job based on the recruitment we've done over the last few years. Let's see what this freaking potato can do. Maybe he should just peel himself away from this fucking football club because it's been a nightmare ever since we lost Gill, Fergie. We've had a fucking nightmare. Ed Woodward is a big problem. I don't think it's, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's only just come in. He's dealing with Woodward's and freaking Mourinho's mess over the last couple of years, playing with all these players that he probably doesn't want. And now we're in a position where we're, our best player, effectively, or one of our best players in terms of being a leader and a fighter and actually paying for the shirt, Ander Herrera's just been allowed to go on a free. Not prepared to pay him the money. Yet we're paying Paul Pogba that freaking log in the centre of the park, 300 grand a week. We're paying Lukaku 250. Alexis Sanchez is on 400 grand a week to be a Bruno Mars impersonator. That is what's happening at this football club. It's fast becoming a joke. It's fast becoming a joke. You look at how far we've dropped off. Even since from last season when we finished second, it's a disgrace. I mean, it is quite miraculous that with this set of players, Jose Mourinho actually managed to get this side second above that Liverpool side, etc. When you think about it, because not much has changed. I mean, speaking of those twats, they've not won the league. I would love to give you a proper laugh, but it's all gone out of me, lads. It's all gone out of me. I don't have any positives to take from this one at the moment because they are right up there. They've had a fantastic season. They've deserved to win the league just as much as City, really. They've incredible amount of points they've amassed. 97 points, City 98 to win the league. It's unheard of. It's mental. So they've got everything to look forward to for next season because they've got the team there. They're only going to get stronger. They're only going in one direction. United are in this shitstorm right now. You know, it's like it's a silver lining of sorts that Man City won the league. I'm glad Man City won the league, but you know it's an absolute shitstorm of a cloud when that silver lining is City winning the league. Seriously, that's what it's come to. We are nowhere near competing with these teams. We're way far off the pace. The likes of half of our team, Young, Smalling, Jones, Lukaku, Pogba, Sanchez, get rid of the lot of them. Really not up to the standard. We need new players in. You know, there's Daniel James coming in. I've not seen too much of him, but what I have seen, he looks a very good talent. He looks young, hungry. Looks like somebody that would relish the opportunity of playing for Manchester United, which I don't see from half of these players, and which makes me question our board and our management even more for allowing a player like Ander Herrera to go. And I know he's got other motives, like maybe he wants to actually win things and he doesn't see it. Sitting in the same dressing room across from Paul Pogba with his head freaking down every single time we go a goal behind in a game. Maybe he doesn't see that with Sanchez sat in the corner there, you know, being paid 450 grand a week. So I can't blame him, but United should have done a lot more to keep hold of those players because we have to actually go out there and now sign players like Ander Herrera that we don't have now. We've just got players who are just not up to the standard. I'm sorry. We all know that's the case. I went in a bit hard on Ole Gunnar early on in this video, and I am pissed off for him with the selection today. I thought it was negative. Okay, we put Greenwood up there. He's had a good game. There's a positive from it. There's the only freaking positive. But defensively, what were we expecting? You know, those guys are just not up to standard. That further cements the theory that those guys are just shit. Piss off back to Maidstone this morning. Do one back to Blackburn, Jones. See you later on, pals. You'll never be United quality. You never have been. You never will be. You're just a bunch of garbage men, in my opinion. So there we go. Manchester United are shite. What more do you want me to say? We've had a terrible season, the worst season in my living memory, in all honesty, and that includes the freaking David Moyes Ginger Goblin season. I thought we were going to get a little bit of juice squeezed out of this freaking lemon of a season by having Ole Gunnar come in and cause that resurgence that he did, but unfortunately not able to keep that going. Not able to have a consistent run towards the end of the season and just gone back 2 steps again. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. That's basically what's going on at United over the years. I think it stems from the management. I think it stems from the owners. Problems recruiting over the years. Absolutely. We've gone out there and we've spent big money. We've signed free transfer players on big money, giving them big signing on bonuses, paying them huge amounts of money, likes of Falcao, 250k, likes of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who actually did work out, was awesome, don't get me wrong. But our policy is to go out there and pay money. Alexis Sanchez for it. It's crazy. No wonder Herrera's pissed off. He's sitting across from Bruno thinking, what the fuck is he? He's doing nothing. I'm actually fighting out here, playing well, and I'm getting 3 times less than that mug. I could just go over to France, play in the Mickey Mouse League, win the trophy every freaking year, have a shot at the domestic cup, play in the Champions League, which we're not in. Who blames the guy? But we should have done a lot more to keep on of him. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, United are shit. We need a lot of change in the summer. We need to obviously back Ollie, give him a full season. This isn't all his fault. He's still dealing with the remnants of the stench that is Jose and et al. And everyone else before him. Up until Fergie, of course. So, yeah, we've got to hope that in the summer we can do some meaningful business, bring some quality players in. More importantly, bring some players in that have that United heart, that have that passion and desire to play for Manchester United and really represent the club, you know, to 100% of their abilities every single week, because that's what we've been lacking all too much of this season. People like, you know, Pogba, for instance, he's supposed to be this leader out there on the pitch. I don't see it. I see him dawdling. I see him giving the ball away. I don't see him influencing play in that much of a positive fashion, even against shit teams like Cardiff. We couldn't break those bunch of clowns down today. Ole Gunnar's previous side, I mean, they are garbage, man. And we can't even break them down. They battered us 2-0. What the fuck is going on with these useless bunch of mugs? Seriously, when you actually think of it, it's laughable. Some of the performances we've had recently against lesser teams, real lesser teams, you know, the shittest team in Premier League history, or one of them who got relegated. Of course, we had a mare with them as well, Huddersfield. So, you know, what the fuck are we doing at the moment? The lads need to sort themselves out. I say, get old frickin' the Mountain from Game of Thrones down and chop Ed's frickin' potato head off. In my opinion, you know, obviously I don't mean that, but what I mean is swing the axe, get rid of him from the club. I think he is really causing all sorts of problems at the club because If you look at the leadership, the management from upstairs, what's happened over the last few years, recruitment, maybe recruitment of managers, certainly of players, the transfer policy, wages policy, it's all going in a horrendous direction. It's not worked out well for us. And now we're in this difficult position where we're trying to attract players without Champions League football to improve us. And the only way we're going to attract players now, because, okay, we are a great club with a great history, but we're quite far off the pace of all the teams in the Premier League fighting for those top spots right now, and also across Europe. So players are obviously in the same market. The teams are obviously in the same market for the players we are to a degree. So now they're only going to be coming here for money. So what we need to do is not spend big, because they're only going to be coming here for money, basically. You know, Daniel James, people like that, those are good signings. Those are sensible signings because it's not a lot of money. The wages are not astronomical. They'll be very thankful to be at the club. They can really prove themselves, cement themselves as a top-level player. They've got that desire. They've got that hunger. And maybe it's just going to be a case of United really having a drop-off for the next few years. And if we go into the building up the team via youth, via buying quality fighters, and it doesn't mean we don't have to go out there and spend big. I think one or two big signings this summer will only benefit the club if they are the right type of quality players. There's lots of talk about Harry Maguire. I've championed him for a while. I think he's a good defender. I think he plays with his heart on his sleeve. He puts his body on the line. He always tries and fights. And that's all I can really ask for a Manchester United player. Plus, he's very good technically all-round player, in my opinion. So I think that's a player that, yeah, you might want to go out there and spend 50, 60 million on. But there's not many other players that I would like to bring to the club in this instance where we are struggling to bring players in who want to fight for that badge, where the only option we have is not giving them Champions League football. It's just paying them lots of money. I don't want to see us go out there and get a Falcao or an Alexis Sanchez if they're available. Absolutely not. This is not what United need to be doing right now. We need to rebuild. It's a rebuild job. We've got to believe in the coaching staff, which I do. We've got to believe in Ole Gunnar, the Scandinavian golem, which I do currently. Disappointed with that team selection today, though, got to be honest. But there you go. Right, lads and lasses, thanks so much for stopping by on the live stream. Do us a favour. I'm going to get into your questions and comments here very soon. Thank you so much for stopping by on the channel here. Smash a like on this video if you are tuning in live to this stream. Do us a favour, and you can also share it on social media. It'd be much appreciated. But yeah, this is a fucking calamity. Let's get into it then. Let's get into this shower of shit with you guys and gals here. Oh my days, what a freaking mess of a team. Mr. Armes 2001, Ollie left his wheel at the garage. Yeah, original there. Thank you very much. Calamity Jones, oh my God, thank God this season is over. Worst season ever. When will our nightmare end? Pogba certainly does enjoy it in the... Oh my days. Okay, you almost made me say it again there, pal. I'm not going to say it again. Everybody else can read that. But yeah, no, fair enough, if that's your opinion. Alex Rudd comments, hell fucking yeah. Get out of here, Alex. No, thank you very much for stopping by there, mate. Obviously, Arsenal finished in 5th, United finished in 6th. We are officially shite. I would have rather Wolves took it. Obviously, that was not possible because I don't want to be playing in that Europa League garb, although they obviously are as well. So we'd have been better off finishing 8th than finishing 6th. Now we've got that shite Europa League to contend with next season. Playing on Thursday nights in frickin' Anzi, wherever that is, in frickin' Russia, whatever it is. It's shocking. It's not good. I don't even know if they're in it, but I'm just saying we're all over the place. We're not in the Europe's Premier competition. We don't deserve it. We didn't deserve it by a long shot. Now we've got that shite to look forward to with you bunch of melters as well, Alex Rudd. Thank you very much for stopping by with your comment and moderating it. Mr. Zaki Boy comments, yo, Pig D's still back. Ollie, look. Ollie has not had a fair crack at the whip yet. I'm sorry, he had an amazing... If you judge his season based on from when he took over to now, it's not been absolutely fantastic. But at the same time, he impressed so much in that early spell. Maybe it was the wrong decision to appoint him before the end of the season, because it just seemed to create some sort of a mentality change within the dressing room, within the players. As soon as that happened, we went back to the Louis van Gaal days. Before that, they were playing with pure progressive freedom out there on the pitch, attacking and enjoying it, playing with smiles on their faces. And you can see that playing against teams that are better than us on a lot of occasions and beating them based on just pure belief and pure desire and you know, happiness out there on the pitch, which is not something that Jose evidently was offering the dressing room. But the more I think of it, the more I think, man, Jose is a good manager to even get second in the league with this team. Because if you look at how we've been since then, we really have been absolutely terrible. I know we were great when Ole Gunnar took over, But when you see the players' heads dropping, when you see £90 million Logba in the centre of the park, can't be arsed running. When you see Luke Shaw, can't be arsed running. You know, when you see some of these players over the last few weeks not tracking back, not getting the tackle in, not getting their head up, not playing with that true direct desire that we should have had and that we did have for a little while. Unfortunately, we couldn't keep it going. These players are the problem. That's the long and short of it. We have recruited terribly over the last few seasons. I don't think it's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's fault. I think he is dealing with just a complete bunch of mercenaries, basically. People like Pogba and Sanchez have paid an absolute fortune, and they don't deserve to be. They don't put that back into input into the side out there on the pitch. And they're just sucking money out of the club. They're sucking the life out of the club. They're causing tensions in the dressing room. Maybe Herrera would have stayed if we hadn't have signed Alexis Sanchez for so much money. It creates all these problems. If Alexis Sanchez is on 450k a week, is Ander Herrera unreasonable to ask for £200,000 a week and for us to just poo-poo that and say, nah, mate, sorry, we got you from Bilbao. We are not paying you that sort of money. You know, I think he's well within his rights, really. I'm not saying he should be paid that sort of money. I think our wage policy and structure at the moment at the club is an absolute joke. It really is. Paying too many people way too much money. And really, we need to get those guys off the books as soon as possible. And if that means taking a hit in terms of the transfer fee, I say, let's do it. Let's sell Pogba to Real Madrid for 70 million. It might seem cheap because of the sort of commercial enterprise that he is, and also the fact that he probably will go there and show that he's one of the best players in the world. That's a frustrating thing, but he's just not the right fit for United, doesn't have the right head on his shoulders, doesn't have the bottle to be a United player. Roy Keane, man! Roy Keane! What would he say to Paul Pogba if he was in that dressing room with him today? What would he say to him? Rather, what would he do to him? Because he wouldn't stand for it. And those days may be over for United. We don't have those leaders in there. But until we go out there in the window and bring some of those leaders in, people who do want to fight for United, people who are hungry, people that do have that bottle and that desire to win and that winner's mentality, those are very, very hard values and qualities to know that you're getting when you sign somebody. Because Alexis Sanchez, for instance, was amazing at Arsenal. He always looked like that player. You say to him, Alexis, are you going to try your absolute hardest for us? He says, yes, boss. But he's still getting paid the same amount of money. It's a bumper contract at the end of his career, effectively. Will he ever get a better contract than that? It's unlikely. So his motivation is not really to go out there and bang in 3 goals every single week. Maybe his motivation is just to walk his dogs on the beach and sit on the bench and freaking enter Bruno Mars impersonation competitions. Who freaking knows? But but in all honesty, it's just a mess, isn't it? Thank you very much for your question there, pal. Everybody who is tuning in and commenting, thanks so much for your comments and getting involved. Smash a like on this video. Let me know you're in here. Let me know your thoughts on it. Super chat from Christopher M.E. Shout out to you. No comment with it. But thank you very much for getting involved and showing your support on the channel there. Alex Rudd with a super chat. At least Liverpool lost. Drink it in those tears. Get in there, my son. That is truly the only good thing that has happened, is that Man City won the league. And Liverpool did not win the league. 29 years of hurt for those bastards. Get in there. When's the last time we won it? Well, not freaking 29 years ago. 6 years ago. So, you know, we have not done... It's not like we've gone for such a barren spell, but at the same time, they won the Champions League in 2005. They're in the final, which we did used to be able to say that we haven't won it for about 15 years, pal. But now they are in the final. They've got Spurs. They could easily go on and win that. They look like... You know, in my opinion, they look like the best team in the league, really, in the Premier League. I know City, of course, are just a completely formidable side. But in terms of just sheer attacking force and just style and attacking verve, I've got to give it to Liverpool. I know they didn't win the league, but they easily could have done based on the amount of points that they had. So it's incredible. I heard someone on the radio the other day saying that I think when Sir Alex Ferguson was manager of the club, there was not one season where he finished with more than 91 points. So it might have been 93 points, but... just goes to show you, and obviously he was managing the club from the inception of the Premier League in 92-93. So that goes to show you that just what an incredible achievement it is to get 97 points and how remarkable it is that City managed to get 98 points. So you've got to give Liverpool a lot of credit. We're miles behind them. They'll be bang up for it again next season. I am happy, Alex, of course, that they've not done it, but still, I mean, okay, it does soften the blow somewhat of today. Just the fact that we couldn't get a final positive win against Cardiff. I know the season's a complete write-off. It's an absolute shithouse. But I was expecting us to just end on a positive note today. Maybe really go out there, make some wholesale changes in the side, play a lot of youth players. I know we played a few, but really, really just mix things up and get some hungry players out there. It wasn't to be. Liverpool, just like it wasn't to be for Liverpool winning the league, but they certainly probably will be in for, what a load of bollocks that is, but they probably will be in for a shot of winning the Premier League next season again, based on just what an incredible team they are, based on how dominant they've been this season. Don't think they've dropped any points since March the 3rd since they drew with Everton. So that's the remarkable run that they've been on. They haven't dropped a point. That's crazy, man, in months. So they really have been doing very well. They're in the Champions League final. They could win that. They could challenge next season. They might bring players in. They don't really need to. It's us that needs to bring players in, but they probably will do. So they're always going to be a force next season, just like City are. City's Pep Guardiola, he is an incredible manager. His teams play incredible football. They possess you off the park. They break you down. They're patient. And they really, really are effective. And they're fantastic to watch. I love watching Man City, the way they go about it. You know, his teams do tend to play similar styles. He's just got this personal philosophy, which he seems to be able to translate into the teams that he manages pretty well. Oh, thank you very much for your super chat there, Alex. Much appreciated. Susan, how's it going, Susan Havria? Nice to have you in here. She comments and says, I almost feel like they just show up and do nothing. Apart from give away penalties and lull on the ball and dawdle on the ball and fall over and not cover space and not put in tackles and not play nice football and not play good passes. Yeah, you're right. They do just show up and do nothing. You know, I totally agree with you. I mean, in terms of positive stuff that happened today, it wasn't positive at all. There's nothing really to take for it. But, you know, Greenwood looked very good, actually, first half. Very impressed. Young lad. First start for the club. Great. That's what I want to see more of. The other lads, though, people like Rashford as well needs to step up big time because people are seriously starting to doubt him. I don't doubt him. I've seen what he can do. I've seen that he's still young. He's still learning. With a squad behind him that is a lot better than the one we've currently got, who knows what a great player he can be. He needs that freedom to go forward and express himself offensively. I know it's not happened for him recently, but there you go. Thank you, Susan. You know, they just need to man up, don't they? We need to get leaders in there, fighters in there. We need players in there who are passionate. We've got players in here at the moment who look undermotivated, who look like their head's gone, who look like, they can't be asked most of the time. And that is wrong when you're at a club like United with such a passionate fan base. You should do your everything to try and entertain and give the fans some sort of something to look forward to every single week. They've not been doing that. A lot of them don't seem to even care about the fan base, really, because if they did, I think they'd fight a lot harder. The board are a complete bunch of clowns, getting rid of the only fighter we had in the side, Ander Herrera. Shocking, isn't it? What a shit run club we are. I hate to say it, I don't say it lightly. I'm praising Liverpool and City. It sickens me. It leaves a disgusting taste in my mouth when these words come out of it. But the fact is, they are so much better than us. And I don't say that lightly because I hate those guys. I hate those teams, really. We are United, of course. We're supposed to be have the richest history in all of English football. Obviously, Liverpool are very close. They're a great team historically. But just the fact that we are so far away from that right now goes to show you how bad the club has been run over the last few years. And certainly since Alex Ferguson left, it has been run into the ground. Super chat from Rincon. Alex Rincon, thank you for your comment and super chat here. He comments, I'm glad we appointed Ollie early because it's showing how bad these players are. We have to clear out our squad completely or I fear we will fade. Thank you for your comment and super chat there, Alex. I 100% agree with you. What more can I say? You've said it there, really. We need a big clear out. Lots of players need to go. I'm thinking of at least 7 or 8 players that I would like to see the back of in this transfer window. I know Ole Gunnar has sort of hinted that maybe only 1 or 2 will be going and we'll only be signing 1 or 2 players. But I personally think that was just not to upset the harmony running into the final run-in for the Premier League. Because obviously if you tell everyone, oh no, we're going to make wholesale changes in the summer, who's really the players who think maybe they're on the way out? Maybe they're just going to let their heads go. Although it turns out that's what happened anyway. So maybe we freaking should have done that. But yeah, we need to sign players. We need to sign hungry players. We need to sign passionate players. That is basically the key thing I would say is missing from United is that heartbeat, that desire. That player in the middle of the park who is prepared to influence a game and can influence a game. We don't have that in Paul Pogba. We thought maybe we did when we spent £90 million on him, but we don't. And We need to bring other players in, of course. Lukaku's not been firing. Don't think he's a United player. We could do with a forward as well. Defensively is where our biggest problems lie. Ashley Young was handed a bumper contract recently. Don't understand it. 33 years of age. Absolutely shithouse move from the board to give Ashley Young that. I mean, he's not like one of those players that doesn't try. I just don't think he's up to it. Maybe it's not his fault. Maybe he's not really a wing back. Maybe, you know, but fact of the matter is, he's not been up to United standard for a long time. There was a time when he was a good, useful player for us, no more than a squad player, really. But now those days are gone. Same with freaking old Maidstone boy, Chris Smalling. Do you know what I mean? Go back to non-league, pal. That's your level. We do need to make changes, get rid of some players who are obviously not up to it at the back there. Jones and Smalling, the pairing from hell, need to go. And we need to try and find that new Nemanja Vidic and that new Rio Ferdinand. Two opposite ends of the spectrum. Rio Ferdinand played for West Ham. Of course, he looked like an incredible player. And Leeds, believe he played for as well. Before Manchester United got hold of him, we paid £30 million for him, I think, or £30 million. A lot of money for a defender back then. It really was. Goes to show you what a quality player he was, and he showed what a quality player he was and had a tremendous career at Manchester United. Then the other end of the spectrum, Nemanja Vidic came in January, came in for about £6 million, I believe. You know, not a lot of money, not a lot of people knew about him, certainly not over here to the same extent that they knew about Ferdy. So you can get these gems from all over the place. You don't have to go out there and spend big money to bring a top quality player in. You just need a player who is a fighter and who is a warrior and is prepared to develop and prepared to really be a true professional and try their hardest out there every single time they step out on the pitch and to try and develop themselves as a true professional. Say what you want about people like Ronaldo, his attitude, arrogance, whatever about it. You cannot fault the professionalism of the man. And that is why, not really out of natural talent, I would say, that he is where he is, because he has tried and worked harder than just about anybody else has. Lionel Messi, same thing, but he's obviously maybe more of a mercurial sort of natural talent, but it's arguable. But yeah, I mean, thank you very much for your super chat there, Alex Rincon. Much appreciate you getting involved here. Matthew Brown comments, what a bunch of dossers. Absolutely, as Tyson Fury would say, they're a bunch of freaking shithouse dossers, aren't they? Kyle S comments, nice to see you, Kyle. Pogba has enough chances to impress. He has fallen short of expectations. Absolutely, you're totally right there, mate. He's had chance after chance after chance, week after week after week, recently, to show that he's a fighter, to show that he can influence this Man United side and be a match winner, the one that we all thought we were getting. But no, he freaking cannot be. Because he's just useless. He doesn't seem to want to be a United player. He doesn't seem to want to be out there. I don't know if it's his teammates. I don't know if he just thinks these guys are just not up to my standards, so I can't be bothered to even carry them. I don't think it is that, though. I think it's perhaps the other way round, although we do see how well he did over in Serie A and how well he does for the French national side. So it's a humdinger of a situation. I don't understand why he's so useless. But the fact is he is. And like I say, he'll probably go to Real Madrid, and it'll probably be amazing. He'll probably be the new Zidane or something. James Mosscrop says Pig should be manager. Thank you very much there. Right, let's get down here. I've not got too long to stick around on the live stream, but before I go, please do try and fire in a comment here. I'll try and pick it out. If not, you can always come back once this video is ended and get your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, and I will, of course, answer as many as I can a bit later on. But for now, do chuck a like on this video. If you want to give it a share, please do. Help the channel out a little bit here. Maximilian7 says, when was the last time we scored from a set piece? Not had a good set piece taker since Beck's. We'll take Ward, Prowse, Madison. Teams full of 6'4" Frankenstein's monsters yet are abysmal at indirect set pieces. You make a very good point. Our set pieces are absolutely abysmal. I mean, we of course had Ronaldo since we had Beckham, and he was incredible when it came to set pieces. But if you're talking about just floating balls in, Rooney was pretty good at that, actually. Rooney was quite a good, corner taker and free kick taker, indirect free kicks when you're trying to curl it in for a cross and stuff like that. But I hear you, man. We don't have that true. Where is our Wesley Sneijder or our Sigurdsson? We should go out and sign Sigurdsson from Everton. That would be very good, actually. Just popped into my head. Because he's actually a really good, committed player, and he's always effective. And he's a set-piece merchant. He can bang it in the back of the net. We've seen him do it against us. He's awesome. He does it consistently. Why don't we have a free-kick specialist anymore like that either? I mean, I guess Juan Mata is pretty incredible when you look at his strike rate. But still, not lately. Not lately. Thank you, everybody who is commenting, though. You're a bunch of legends. Any Liverpool fans in here? And, commiserations. I was trying to hold it back. I didn't feel like laughing earlier, I'll be honest, but you guys have helped me release some of this tension, release some of this stress. And United were going to finish in the Europa League spaces anyway and be absolutely shit until hopefully we change half of our team anyway. So you might as well revel in the Scousers going another season, bottle jobbing it all over the... No, they haven't bottle jobbing it this year. They've just been incredibly unlucky, really. But you've got to love it when another year goes by where the Scousers don't win the league. Almost 30 years of hurt, lads and lasses. Oh, that's got to sting. Not as much as it stings for us to be not in the Champions League next season. The fact that Liverpool took City to the final day of the season, finished the league 1 point behind them, and are in the Champions League final and our Champions League football next season. Yeah, it doesn't sting as much as that shit. Oh. We've got a super chat from Gungshi in the house. Thank you for stopping by and getting your thoughts in, Gungshi, as always. He comments, Ollie must turn this around and stop picking the likes of Young, Smalldong and No Bones every week. Meanwhile, we're letting Herrera go. This club needs to stop championing mediocrity. Well said, Gungshi. Smalldong and No Bones, they've not been United standard players for a long time. We've all seen that. They're not even Wes Brown and John O'Shea. They're nowhere near as good as that. They need to go. They need to go back to Maidstone and back to Blackburn. That's about their level. That's probably what I see in their future if I was Mystic Megan it over here, is Smalling goes back to the non-league and Jones goes back to Blackburn and works for a freaking chicken company. And like you say, letting Herrera go, it's not a positive tone to set by the board and the club. Let's reward shit by signing on players like Ashley Young for another year, and let's punish actual desire and heart out there by not paying somebody a little bit more money who has arguably deserved it just as much as anybody in the side. If there is anybody else in the side, obviously David De Gea over the years, but he's been a bit poor recently. Will he be staying or going come this transfer window? Who really knows? But yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Gunshaw. I think now's the time for change. We've got to stop picking these players. If we start next season and we've got Jones and Smalling at the back for another season, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to question everything about Manchester United. I'm going to have to question whether I want to tune in and watch that shite. Because we all know it doesn't work. I know I want to support the club through thick and thin, all that. But it is very frustrating. We'll have something to look forward to with United and be entertained. It's not all about winning. It's just about going for it and not being a bunch of complete bottle job melters like they are. And I'm sorry, if Jones and Smalling are here next season, then there's something seriously wrong with the board or maybe with Ollie Gunner's judgment, which in my opinion has been good. I know he's not obviously done too well recently, but in terms of some of the substitutions, some of the selections he made early on, I thought he showed some managerial chops anyway. But yeah, if those guys are still here, I know Ashley Young's been given a contract. It's unlikely that he'll be sold in the summer. But more so, the problem is the Jones and Smalling centre-back pairing there. It truly is absolutely gashtastic. There is no positives to take from it. They are nowhere near the standard that they need to be. They're the worst of all the top six sides in the league in terms of the defensive line that we've got. And they are never going to be Rio and Vidic. So why even bother? Why even bother? Move them on, send them back to the non-league. That's what I say. Thank you so much for getting involved with your super chat there, Gungshi. As ever, much appreciated you showing your support on the channel here and getting involved with your say. Right, let's read a few more comments here before I go at the bottom of the comment section. I'm just neglecting everybody down at the bottom here, which is actually the most recent one. So I do apologise to all you guys and anybody's comments who I've missed. Sorry, there's a lot coming through here. I much appreciate everybody who tunes in and interacts with this channel for these live match reactions. And of course, I am truly pissed off about the situation, but I hope that there's going to be, have a hand forced in the summer now, where Woodward needs to get his acting gear because his job's on the line. And of course, United's future is on the line if we don't recruit really well in the summer. We don't recruit hard. And we also don't get rid of a lot of these players that are on our books. It might be a case of, look, Inter Milan or Juventus or whoever want to come in for an offer for Alexis Sanchez, but they only want to pay him $280 a week. We're going to have to make up the rest of it for a year or 6 months or whatever it may be. I would take it. I would, because we need to free up money. We can't be paying these overpaid prima donnas. It causes issues in the dressing room. And to be honest, they just don't deserve to be at such a great club like United when they're out there playing the shit way that they are. Comment here from Gavin John says, sack Ollie and all the players, disgrace. Fair enough. I mean, there's a lot of people getting on Ollie's back right now. I'm not happy with some of the decisions he's made lately in some of the selections, like today, that back line, it's a joke to even select that back line in this particular fixture when we've got next season to go into. You know, prove a point. Let's give a bit of hope and opportunity to these fans. But no, we chose the same part of wank that we always do, and maybe it's a send-off. Maybe he said to them, "You're never playing for me again, so go out there, fight your heart out. This is your last time. Enjoy it." And they just were shit. Maybe that's happened. But I hope that has happened, because if it's not happened, then United seriously do have big problems if if we keep hold of them by next season. But yeah, I mean, I'd say stick with Ollie for now, because he's not had a transfer window, he's not had money, he's not had chance to invest, he's not had players brought in that he actually wants at the club, he's not shipped out players that he doesn't want. It's not his mess right now. This time next season, if we're in the same place, then fair enough. Sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's not potentially the right man for us, depending on how it goes and how we're playing and all that. But really, you know, we do need to improve. We need to show signs of improvement. Maybe it won't happen overnight if we have to recruit younger, more hungry players, or players who are not quite up there, you know, in terms of in the market for joining one of these top European sides. And it sounds sickening for me to say that, but we don't have Champions League football. We may be a top European side in terms of history and tradition, but right now we are a shadow of Manchester United. Ugh. Right, lads and lasses, I'm going to wrap it up here, but thank you so much for stopping by on this live stream rant for the freaking shitty Man United versus Cardiff game that finished 2-0 to Cardiff. It's a joke. Let me know your thoughts and opinions after this video's gone in the comments section. Do us a favour before you go, smash a little cheeky like on this video. We're almost at 100 likes on this live stream, so give it a cheeky like. Let's see if we can tip it over there. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you do smash that subscribe button. Stick around for all sorts of mess that will be happening next season, no doubt about it. And any actual concrete transfer movements we've got going on, I'll be keeping you up to date with absolutely everything that's going on in Manchester United's transfer window. So make sure you keep an eye out over the summer. This season's just been a complete write-off. It's a complete calamity. I'm glad it's over. Let's put this behind us. We absolutely need to. We've got to move forward as a club, as fans. We've got to believe in the manager, because I don't think he's going to get the sack now. He's just been given a big money long-term deal, so he's not getting the sack. I want him anyway. I like him, but I just think we need to believe in him and give him a bit of money and time, and allow him enough rope to hang himself with if he is not good enough. The only way you can do that is to actually let him start the season. You know, Jose had 2.5 years and £300 million. Let's give Ole Gunnar half that, shall we say? A United legend, can we give him half that time and half that money? Yeah, I think we freaking can. Let's do that. Anyway, everybody who's tuning in, thanks for stopping by. You're a bunch of legends. I'll see you very, very soon on the channel. Thanks for getting involved. Just to let you know, actually, Henry Hotspur, he's obviously buzzing at the moment, little tit, but he is coming back from England back to England in a couple of weeks, and I will be doing a live Champions League final preview with the lad on Saturday, the 25th of May, I believe it is, in the evening, early evening. So keep a lookout for it on my social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can follow me at Mr. Flying Pig HD. Please do that. But yeah, there you go. United are shite. Sort yourselves out. Ole Gunnar, make some signings. Woodward, stop being such a potato head, and freaking get some quality players in. And more importantly, move the shite out the club. Move the likes of Pogba out. Move the likes of Lukaku out. Move the likes of Sanchez out. The big money prima donna mercenaries who are not fit enough to wear the United shirt. I'll see you soon. This is the Pig. Take it easy. Have yourselves